Philip Venter. Philip Venter is a consultant to MTN. He's been reporting on Emma Powell and other people from the DA, as well as on Solidarity and AfriForum when they visited America. And he's being paid by MTN on invoices signed off by Mcebisi Jonas. Mcebisi Jonas was very negative about Donald Trump. But he should have kept his views to himself. But the problem in South Africa is the ANC after 94 thought they could walk on water. They thought they could bullshit the whole world. Even their own people. That's why they're losing votes for every election. The so-called national dialogue was to be over 700 million. It's now just over 400 million. And a damn squib at that at all. Why is Cyril Ramaphosa still walking the streets of South Africa? Why is he and his cabinet not locked up? Because if you suspect corruption, you must report it. The people in the Hawk say to me, we're sitting there, passages full of people, drawing salaries, but we've got no investigative capacity. This intelligence services is being run by a French agent, Gabs Misimanga. And nothing is being done about him. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Because he's from the same Freemason lodge as Cyril Ramaphosa from France. When you look at Operation Gladio, which is an operation that was run since the Second World War by the Americans, the Vatican was involved to launder the money. And the Masonic Lodge P2 was very much involved, which had been shut down, but it's been replaced. And it was all about drugs and money to fight, so-called generate funds to fight the Soviets. Many of the things ascribed to the Soviets was fabricated by the Russians. What the hell is wrong with the Americans? Why is it about drugs? Because it's high value. It's in money, high value. And it's a consumer product. And this Philip Venter, is he thoroughly accredited with the American government as a lobbyist and a consultant? And for MTN? And MTN says they're going to, excuse me, counter the court as the court challenges. Why are the cases drawing so long? Why are they not coming to an end? Millie Wesley, in the case against Malema, 4 years. The judge made no secret of the fact that Malema was trying to obfuscate, as is normal. All the judges agree because the courts have become racist centers. We've seen that with all other issues about Malema in the Constitutional Court. And as I've said, AfriForum, Solidarity, where were you? Where were you? Gerrie Nel, very highly paid advocate, and Andrew Lees and Phyllis Foster, where were you? This is why this country is the mess it is in. White people cannot trust the legal system. Black people cannot trust the legal system. Nobody can trust the system. The colored people have such a role to play in this country. That's why they are being fed drugs in the Western Cape. Because they speak Afrikaans and they think like whites. and they know how to work in the systems. That's why they are being targeted. The colored people are the people that will be the saviors of this country. And then the black people. The white people doesn't count for much. They don't count for much. Thanks to Rolf Meyer, Leon Wessels, Martinus van Schalkwyk, F.W. de Klerk, Jacques Pau, all the president's men, president's keepers, got his information from a senior intelligence officer who was hiding out in Moscow with his girlfriend and left his wife with a cancer behind in South Africa. He's back with promotion. Jacques Pau, the pedophile. Jacques Pau, the pedophile. And I have confronted him about it. And yet he stands there and he makes announcements. What a useless human being. My wife said to me, I mustn't degrade people. I'm not degrading them. I'm just calling them for what they are. I'm holding up the mirror. Look into that mirror. You soulless, heartless creatures. Civil, 9 wasted years Ramaphosa. Don't forget Tony Leon. Tony Leon is the architect of what happened in the municipalities, 1995. Ask Moriarty. Ask him what I said. Because they didn't listen. How many billions have been written off at municipalities since 1995? That was November 1995, was the local government elections. I was there. That's why I remember. How many billions have been written off? Ekurhuleni, 1.2 billion. 1.6 billion paid out in overtime. Fuck me. How is this possible? And who's going to have to pay the bill? How many billion written off in Tshwane, Pretoria? 2009, 1.8 billion written off on RSC levies alone. And people get murdered. There was a murder a couple of years ago in Waterkloof of a guy being involved in contracts for two-way radios for City of Tshwane, a white guy. People get killed off because nothing gets done to these cartels, the black and the white cartel. It's not about being a doomsayer. It's about saying, look at the issues. People don't want to look, they don't want to hear, they don't want to know. How many times have I seen people look the other way when the car comes this way to hit them? They look the other way as if this is going to prevent the car hitting them. Ish, wake up. Wake up. You can trust the church? You think you can trust the church? We'll talk about that at another time. But you definitely can't trust the legal system. When you go into court to fight a case, you've got to fight it on different venues and different levels. Nothing is what it seems because there is always massive interference. I had a situation. Graham Wester SC was sitting with Judge Tuchten on the morning of a case about the arms trade. You're not supposed to meet a judge without your counterparty being present. His excuse, no, they were talking about social cricket on that date, Judge Tugton said in the court, but they only wanted to steal your contracts, me and my BE partners. They wanted to steal your contracts. They wanted to piggyback on you. The white scum in the Defence Force. And they had Ruzani Mapanyana by the balls. The Chief of the Defence Force. And nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. Oh, and if they don't know what to do, you're called Boeramag. If you're white. Don't talk to me about Boeramag, man. The whole Boeramag saga was structured and planned by General Henkel, sitting in the Commissioner's office. After the guilty sentencing of Letts Pretorius and his family, the 19 policemen involved received a cash bonus of 350 to 400,000 rand. And for 3 years thereafter, they still had money in the budget on the Boeramag to buy new bakkies and safe houses. And Henkel was using it as his shagging nest. Captain Dion Lootz's wife became pregnant. She was a warrant officer. They were divorced by Mark Henkel. Henkel forced her to undergo an abortion. That came from Dion Loots. How do you save a country with people such as this? You think the Voortrekkers were the ultimate? Read the reports. The men were sleeping under the wagons till 12 o'clock at noon. Lazy bastards. The Voortrekkers only started getting stature when Martinus Pretorius joined them. Before that, they were plain, total, unorganized riffraff. The realities are not being told. As the National Party prostituted the history, so the ANC has prostituted the history after 94. What are you going to do? Open your mind, man. Open your mind. Ask questions. Discuss. I'm not asking you to shout it from the rooftops. Because there will be a neighbor who will want to get you killed. Because he's being jealous. He wants your wife, he wants your car, he wants your house. That is what we have degenerated into. A wasted country. Is everything lost? Is everything lost? If we stand together, and believe me, there are still a lot of spies, a lot of impimpis. They will be there always. Because they're not impimpis on a political level, because it's a criminal level. The fight is between the white light and the black criminals. Not about white skin or black skin. Light is always deemed to be white. You get black light as well. Good against bad. I'm not a preacher. I don't want to be one. But what are you going to do? From Rob Herzog, General Mkonazi, even Jacob Zuma. Even Jacob Zuma, what are you going to do? Hey, Obaba, you know you've been framed. You did make mistakes, I told you so. But you're not a big criminal. You made mistakes. Because all those people advising you, I've told you, have been there for one thing, telling you a story to get money. And I've proved it to you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?